We're live. What up, everybody? How you guys all doing? I hope you're doing well. We're just going to wait a couple of moments for everybody to tune in to our Facebook Live show. We have a fun show ahead of us today, so I'm just going to give it a little bit for people to tune in. I'm going to go and share this as well on my wall and silence my phone and all that kind of stuff. So everybody, hang on tight while we get our show ready to rock and roll. Go into my wall over here and make sure that we're sharing this on my personal wall as well, so that as many people as possible get to tune in. For those of you that are already signed in, I want to say thank you so much for watching the show, and we're going to bring you a really great show today. So, but I do want to say thank you for that. So let's see here. Add it to the timeline. Fantastic. Add it to the timeline. Okay, good stuff. All righty. Fantastic. Almost ready to rock and roll, everybody. Thank you for joining us here. Let's see where we are. And I'm hoping everybody's having a fun day today. All right, cool. So we are going to start the show, and few seconds. Let's pull this on the side over here. Good stuff. Got a few people joining us. Thank you very much for joining us. Hang on tight while we get everything ready to rock and roll here. And okay, fantastic. All right, guys, let's jump into the show. Let's do this. So hi, everybody. Welcome to the Michael Meier Show. This is the show where we bring you tips, tricks, strategies. At the end of the day, the point of the show is to help real estate agents build phenomenal, rewarding businesses for themselves. The way we help you build a phenomenal business for yourself is by crowdsourcing and meeting with intelligent, successful people and having them share their knowledge with you. We go out and we find the most successful brokers, agents, coaches, marketers, technology people, whoever it is that has advice that can help you build your business. Today, we have a really interesting show lined up for you today. It's a video influencer that we are having the opportunity to interview today. They're going to be talking to you about how to build know, like, and trust to grow your business. We're talking about someone that became a top producer in her territory, and I believe something like 2 years, now manages and does marketing for 2 real estate offices. So we're talking about someone in the trenches that not only has experience building their own brand, but now helping agents like yourself build their brands too. So I'm super excited for the show today. Let's get this show ready to go. Welcome to the Michael Meier Show. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Welcome back, everybody. I hope you're all doing well and excited for a rock star show that we got lined up for you today. Today, our show is going to be all about building like, know, and trust. What that means is, who works with you? What is the type of client that is going to hire you to help them sell a home, to buy a home, to rent a property, to list their property for rent, whatever it might be? Who's going to work with you? It's going to be someone that likes you, that knows you, and that trusts you. But how do you go out building those relationships at scale? How do you go out and do that? Well, today I have a phenomenal individual who's had extreme success in doing exactly that. And she's generous enough to share this knowledge with you. So without further ado, I want to introduce you to Kristen Stavros, who, number one, was a top producer in Whidbey, which is an island 2 hours north of Seattle. Second of all, she now does training and marketing for 2 offices. So she's having this great opportunity to market others as well. So that's not an experience a lot of people have, doing it for themselves and others. So thank you, Kristen, for joining us on the show. I appreciate you, you being with us. Are you here?
I am here.
How are you?
I am great. Thank you so much, Michael, for having me. This is awesome.
It is my pleasure. Thank you for joining us. And hey, Jennifer, how are you doing?
Hi, I'm good. I'm happy to be here.
Awesome. We have Jennifer here at Meier, who is co-hosting the show with me. If you have any questions, put them in the comments below, and Jennifer will be sourcing those questions and making sure that they get answered by our phenomenal guests that we have here today. So, Kristen, tell us a little bit about yourself and what we're going to be chatting about today.
Okay, so I started in real estate. It seems like a lot longer, but it really was only about 4 years ago.
Wow.
Before that, I was helping the environmental community, actually, professionals in the environmental community, get better at brand development and marketing and doing content marketing when it was first coming out. And so I just got to apply that all to real estate in my favorite place on earth, which is Whidbey Island, and build this amazing community and an amazing business. And now I am super thrilled to be able to give that back to almost 45 agents doing an amazing business here. So, just to give you an idea, these 45 agents do like 600 transactions a year. So we were talking some busy people.
Yeah, seriously. So talk to me, first of all, so for people that don't know exactly where the island is, where are we talking about?
So we're about an hour and a half, 2 hours south of the Canadian border, on the very tippy northwest corner of our country. And we're about a 2 hour drive from Seattle. And you either have to cross a bridge or you have to take a ferry to get to our island. And it's a really long island. Whidbey Island likes to call itself the longest island in the contiguous United States, but Long Island has that.
Oh, that's
Actually,
fine.
so
Yeah, we're near Long Island, so
yes,
yeah, we're here in New
exactly.
York City.
Right.
So now you were an agent. I'm just out of curiosity because I also was an agent before I opened up a brokerage, and my role is kind of similar to yours is, honestly. It's in the coaching and the marketing. Jennifer's our like marketing guru here, but we work closely. So first of all, why did you make the transition? I'm curious. How'd that whole thing go?
Yeah, that's a very good question. And I got asked that a lot when I decided, it's like, what are you doing? You're this top producer. You could be making like, who knows how much? Like, what are you doing? But I've always made decisions in my life based on like what my soul is telling me, what really gets me excited to wake up every day, which, gives me tons of challenges. Real estate absolutely gave that to me, but it's kind of a lonely path. And I'm an educator by training and my background and in my heart. And so for me to help develop other people to reach their potential, not just, in their professions. And as you know, like real estate is a real holistic thing. Like it's, their life, their mindset, their professions, their skills, abilities, all of that was just like the perfect fit for me, and I couldn't pass it up. I have the most amazing agents. My soul sings in this position. That's why.
That's really cool. So okay, today we are going to be talking about building like, know, and trust. So
Yes.
tell me a little bit about why is that a topic that is so near and dear to you?
Right.
And what are we looking to accomplish today in the next 20 minutes or so? What kind of knowledge are we looking to impart to the lucky viewers that get to hear from you?
Okay, so when I got in this, and everyone says to be a really successful agent, you just have to know, a lot of people have to know, like, and trust you and be top of mind. And if you're the first agent they think out the average of 10.2 agents that they know, they're going to call you and they're going to want to refer you and recommend you. And when I discovered video and using video to apply that know, like, and trust in my business, it was a game changer for me. It was a complete game changer. So I was at a conference in Tacoma, and Michael Thorne from Remax in Canada came and gave us a talk. And I'd wanted to do video for a while, but I didn't really know how to apply it. And I walked away from that conference, and most people like go away from a big conference and they're exhausted and they like take a couple days to rest. And I was just like, honey, you're not going to see me for a couple days. I got to go do some stuff. I got to implement this. And I just went gangbusters and built a Facebook group called My North Whidbey, where I could talk about things that weren't real estate, because most people, unless you're actively thinking of buying or selling, they don't want to hear about your new listings all the time. They don't want to constantly hear about real estate until they do. And so I wanted to develop a community that I could talk to and get them to know, like, and trust me, and be able to have a broader reach on a topic that people find interesting on Whidbey Island, at least every day of the week. And that's this beautiful place that we live. It's a really, really special place. A lot of islands are, but this is an amazing, amazing environment, amazing community. We have a very big agricultural community. There's awesome restaurants. There's just so much to do. It's unbelievable. And so I wanted to talk about that.
I'm just curious. What's the average what? Sale price in your area?
Right. So in our area up in the north end, it's 329,000 right now. In the south end, that goes up a couple 100,000 because we have a few more $1 million listings that skews that.
Right.
But it's low. We have a military presence here, so that's what really keeps the market going and that number kind of low of affordable housing. But awesome. We do a lot of transactions, so it's a lot of turnover.
How many transactions were you saying you do?
600 for our 2 offices, which is 45 agents. So it's a lot of busyness.
Phenomenal.
But so anyway, I started on video, and I built that Facebook page up to 1,000 followers in less than 6 months because people were just eating it up. I was really enthusiastic about what I was talking about. And they were enthusiastic because they were learning stuff about their island and learning about things that they could do. It was really hard to get on video, as I'm sure you know at first. I mean, I'm not afraid of getting in front of crowds as much, but when you first pull out that camera and you start videotaping yourself and putting it out for everyone to see, it's a little intimidating. But I
more view than you.
Yeah, exactly. But what I had to think about was that, or I believe that if you love something more than you're fearful of it, you can overcome anything. So I love sharing about my island, and I love seeing the excitement in people's eyes when they discover something new about their place that they call home. And so I just really, really, really concentrated on that. Forgot about what I looked like, forgot about what I sounded like, forgot about the quality of the video I was taking, but just really focused on the message and the content I was bringing across. And it was crazy successful. The thing that I tell people, because they're like, oh, did that bring in so much business? Did you get so many transactions from that? And it's like, well, no, it didn't happen like that. What happened is it turned my already clients, my already fans, people who already know, like, and trust me, into raging fans. So because now, yeah, exactly, because you're sharing this content, you're giving value out to your community. And so for them to, someone to say, oh, I'm thinking about selling, they could say, oh my gosh, you need to call this person, and not just point to that they sold how many houses, because nobody knows that outside of our industry. Yeah. Nobody knows if you're a top producer or if you only
knows what it means to sell a lot of houses. Like, what's the number? That's a lot.
Exactly. And is that good or is that bad? I don't want to work with a top producer. They might not have time for me. But to be able to say, check out her Facebook page, check out all the awesome videos she has on all the parks to go to and the restaurants to visit and all of that, totally different thing. And you're in their feed, you're giving them value every day. It exploded the know, like, and trust. The meter went off the charts. So yeah, highly recommend. Any of you listening out there, if you do not have a page like this in your area that's basically saying, I'm going to be the local expert, I'm going to be the community mayor for your area, you are so lucky. Like, stop watching this right now, go set it up, do it, because that is the first person in that arena becomes the mayor, and there's no going back.
If you're finding this on Facebook and you're watching on Facebook, or you see this on YouTube or whatever it is, and you have a face page like that and you want to share, feel free to put it in the comments below. Of course.
Yes, please. Yeah, let us know what you're doing out there. You can share in the comments if you want the My North Whidbey link that I sent you.
Yes.
Just so you can go see.
Definitely.
So It's not a great example now, because once I became branch manager, I sort of handed that channel off to my agents while I got in place as manager. But we're about to revamp that and explode it at the next level, where we're doing a lot more hand holding, and we're doing a lot more content and linking that with our brokerage page. So we can say like, hey, we're not going to talk about real estate every day on this channel, but just so you know, this is being put on by Windermere. If you do want to buy or sell, please like go check out our other Facebook page.
So you used to do the content yourself. You used to go and share something going on on the island. So now the company is going to be doing this, or the agents in the company are going to be doing it? How are you guys formulating this now?
Both. So I'm not picky about who's doing it, to be honest, because I started holding my cell phone out, at arm's reach, and people ate it up. And frankly, I truly believe that like it's about the audio and it's not so much about the visual when you're out there sharing stuff on video. Obviously, people want to see what you're doing, but as long as they can tell what you're saying. So like getting an SRT file so that closed captioning is on all your videos, hugely important. And you can Google that, right now on how to do that. Super simple. So we're going to be I don't really care. Like my agents, they do their own content. I'm going to be facilitating content creation with them every once in a while. I shouldn't say every once in a while, as much as we can afford it. We are hiring professional videographers. So here it's really hard though, in New York and Seattle, big metropolitan areas, there's a lot of choice in professional videographers. We have to cultivate that locally. So other people who are listening, maybe who are from small towns, it's hard to find someone. And when you do find someone that you think has potential, you're investing in that and you're working with them to get better instead of just hiring, from like 10 choices.
So you're talking about hiring the videographer. Is that the challenge?
Right. Yes.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
And why are you now taking the route of using a videographer versus doing it by yourself?
We want some of everything, right? So we want some evergreen products that are really polished that we can kind of have up at the top of our web page that we can cultivate into guides that are a little bit more. But for everyday content or stuff that's just, Facebook ready, or maybe a part of a blog post, I'm not going to get too picky. It's about the quality of what they're saying and what they're sharing, and not so much the quality of the video itself. It's like, don't hang out and wait till it's perfect. Just go do, like at any scale you can.
Yeah,
it's big fan of that.
So what I really loved you saying a little while ago about just being honest and transparent about it, which a lot of people unfortunately aren't. A little misleading is you go out there saying you don't put up a video and get a lead. You don't go on social media and then all of a sudden just get leads.
Exactly.
It's marketing. You're adjusting people's perceptions and opinions, and then they will call. Or you may combine it with a lead generation activity followed up with a getting to know you marketing activity.
Right.
And it's really, it's kind of cool. I'm working on a course, a real estate boot camp course for the luxury marketplace in New York City, and I'm talking a lot about video. And this is something I'm dealing with right now. And I'm like, you just have to understand that if you go out there and build your database, that is one pillar, is building the database, and lead gen is a pillar, and building relationships at scale is a pillar. You can't jump any of them. You need all of them.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. So
and what better way than video? I don't understand. I have a hard time with my agents, and we talk through it, and I've been successful quite a bit with them, but you are not afraid to meet a client. Like, you want the opportunity to plaster your face in the newspaper it used to be. Why are you nervous about getting in front of even more people and them hearing you and seeing you and talking about something you're passionate about, and you get in front of like so many more like this? It is like the core of our business to get in front of people. And what better way than video? So when I got calls after I started on video, they would be referrals or recommendations, or even someone looking through the profiles and seeing that I had a video, pressing play and going, oh, I really like her. And would say, I called you because of your video. And they already know you. They already like you. It's not a cold call. It's not a cold lead. They've looked at you online. They've watched 10 of your videos already. They want to work with you. and they're excited about it.
Let's talk to someone who knows they should be doing video, but like I hear all the time, I don't know what to say on video. I don't know what to do. I get all the time people saying, but Michael, it comes so naturally to you. And it's not really how it goes.
Yeah.
It doesn't come like naturally to anyone. You have to have something in mind. So tell me, what do you do and how do you coach your agents so that you're trying to get into this world of video?
So I'll come back to my, I really do believe there's two strong powers in this world that will drive you: fear and love. And I know it's a little wooey, but I think it's true. And I try to get them focused on what they really love, what they're really passionate about. And sometimes that's making a lot of money, frankly, for some of them. And others, it's like, I want to make a lot of money so I can go out kayaking and so I can take trips with my kids, or I can, do woodworking and like make amazing furniture on the side. Whatever it is that I can get underneath them that's really passionate, I'm going to encourage them to start there. So before we start thinking about like a whole series for buyers, videos that, they can send out via drip email when they get leads, I want them to kind of get comfortable in a place that they're really passionate about. So we'll go out and I'll help them, make a video about whatever they're passionate about. And we started doing bio videos or biography videos instead of a profile for all of our agents. And I've got so let's say I have 45 agents and I probably have about 15 that are bought into this and that are in some level of the works of finishing off their bio video. But we will write the script together to get it down to 2 minutes, which is really hard. Yeah. And then we will talk about, what B-roll they want, what shots they want while they're talking so that the focus isn't on them all the time. And it really brings out their passion. They have a favorite place on Whidbey that they want to get a picture of or an angle of, or they want to be with their family walking on the beach, or they want to be kayaking, or they want to be biking on one of the roads. And so as we start to talk about that, I get a better feeling of what they could get really excited about. And then I'm helping them practice. We get the videographer in, we take the B-roll, we put it all together, and it's awesome. Like I've had agents get like kind of weepy when they are watching their bio video at the end because they're talking about what they're passionate about and what like brought them into this business and what they love about it. So if it's powerful for them, that it's going to reach and be powerful for someone looking for a real estate agent.
Awesome. Phenomenal. So let's say you are an agent now that is not in your firm and you don't have the resources that your firm or my firm provides, because we do the same thing. We get heavily involved with our agents and we create the videos with them, of them, all that kind of stuff. But unfortunately, that's not something most firms offer. So what does an agent who doesn't have a firm that's going to do that for them, but wants to do it and should do it? What do you recommend they do? How do they go about figuring out, where to go? Well, what additional tips might you have for that person?
Mm-hmm. So I will get into the nitty gritty, but before I do, I want to say that if you are one of those people and you are not feeling supported and inspired in your brokerage, you may want to think and look outside the box, because it is only going to get bigger and more varied, I believe, in this industry. And if you don't have a creative, supportive, really, pushing the limits brokerage that you're working for, and you want to be that agent, you may be in the wrong place. But that aside, the nitty gritty is the first place I would go is I would go on Facebook and I would check out a group called RE Video. You know it, Michael, RE Video Studio.
Yeah.
And then I would find out when the next video boot camp is coming to your area that Michael and Jesse do. And frankly, I absolutely encourage you to start practicing on your own beforehand. Just whip the phone out and record something and download. There's like 5 million editing tools. Get really confused and get really frustrated, then go take the video boot camp and then become a rock star. But you have to go and get with people in the same space. And I think you need some hands-on at some point in time when you start to explore that. But I didn't. I just started messing around. Everything's online, but you have to really want it, because it's not totally easy. It's some work.
Yeah, no, it takes work. It's like if you don't know how to use Excel or PowerPoint and then you need to go learn how to use it, it's complicated. Or if you never used Facebook before in your life, I'm sure it is complicated beyond hell to figure out how to use it the first time. Right now, you don't think twice. You know where everything is, but it's a learned thing.
My big thing was when I first started doing video, I challenged myself with a series. So, you've heard of all these like 30 and 30. 30 and 30 sounded way too big. So I committed to 10 videos in 10 days. And I did my 10 favorite places in Coupeville, which is a little town just the south here. And I videotaped about 3 to 4 in over a day for a few days, and then edited them all at once. And it was really bad editing. And I just used iMovie on my computer, and I really didn't know what I was doing, but I was super enthusiastic about it. It
Yeah.
was a ton of work. And because people knew there was more video coming, I really, really strongly believe in that. Do a video telling them what's coming, tell them how many it's going to be, say it's going to be every day for the next X amount of days. And then it's a commitment to yourself. Like once you put that video out, because I encourage you to put that video out before you've actually finished all the videos, because then you gotta finish them. You've put it out there, and that'll drive you home. But it is that's huge.
Yeah, that is awesome. You're holding yourself accountable by committing to putting the 10 out there.
Exactly. And people get excited about it. And then they go, oh, this is one of 10. I'm going to go back and look at those because I'm here on day 4. What happened to the last 3 days?
Yeah.
Like, where are they? And so they go searching, and then you've got a fan club, which is great.
That's phenomenal. So out of curiosity, the agents that you guys have that you're trying to, get to level up in video, do they have other strategies? Do you have them focus on building a database so that you can market to?
Yes.
What's the what's the strategy for integrating video with driving business?
Right. So, I'm very enthusiastic about video, and sometimes my agents are like, enough about the video. I know video. But the core of our training and our coaching is building relationships. And, as simple as like note cards are a really big deal for us. I know it sounds archaic, but use Facebook to write note cards every day. So don't get on Facebook and get lost and end up wasting all your time. Build a friends list in Facebook with all your clients, all your people that you want to do business with, and use that to write them a card. So you actually have, you're building that relationship. You're sending them something. You're not just scrolling Facebook all day long. But that's their core. So they have our goal for our new agents is to get 100 people in their database by the end of their first year. And then we're cleaning up our database every year so that they have a really strong 100. It's not like a fake 100 people. It's 100 people that would absolutely recommend them, or if you met them on the street, would stop and have a conversation with you. That's the goal we're getting to. How do you do that? It's making phone calls, touching base with them, writing them cards, going out we have a small community, so events are big here. We see everybody events. You can't go grocery shopping without bumping into your clients, which is great, which is super helpful. So putting videos out and doing email, newsletters, that sort of thing, that's all just another touch. But what we're looking at is getting enough touches to our 100 people every all year long, not having
you have a certain number of touches that you try to reach out, or like a certain number of video touches versus mail touches versus phone calls. Do you have it strategized, or is it more just like try to talk to as many people as you can as often as you can?
So the recommendations are high. They're like touch each and every individual in your database at least 5 times a month, but in a variety of ways.
Mm-hmm.
And, that can be, don't call them 5 times a month if you don't have something to tell them, because that's creepy and annoying.
Yeah.
But making sure you have a lot of variety. And so if you're sending them an email newsletter, or you're making a comment on something that they posted on Facebook, we would count that as a touch. But don't just comment on Facebook. You need to get variety in there. You need to pick up the phone every once in a while. To be honest, that's really hard. I mean, not everybody is nailing this perfectly. And some people are panicked to pick up the phone and make phone calls, but they'll write note cards all day long. And so we're really, it's coaching to the individual and stretching them and pushing them, but really coming where they're at. We have some agents that love to throw parties. They love to throw parties. And so they're having just a casual barbecue that they get to then invite all their people to. That's a touch, even if the people don't come to the barbecue.
Right. They're sending an invite or whatever.
And then they're having this. Exactly. And like juicing that event for as much as you can, right? Tell them that the event is coming. send the invitation, call them to see if they got the invitation, you know, thank them for their RSVP after the event. Here's the pictures. Thank you so much for coming. A note card later on thanking them. Like, juice it, juice it, juice it.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
High touch. Love it.
High touch. Yes. I don't, you know, I know there's a lot of people out there that are just building their business and they don't have a lot of money yet for marketing and these types of things. But when you do, I would definitely look at BombBomb. So I know, you know, in the video world, everybody knows what BombBomb. When I first heard BombBomb, I was like, BombBomb? What is BombBomb?
You were listed on the influencer list at BombBomb this past year.
Yes, it's huge though. And now that they have the text thing, so I can whip out my phone, send my agent, you know, a hey, happy birthday. I hope your day is great. We're so happy to have you at the brokerage. You're amazing at X. And I can just text that to them and that it's done in 2 seconds. But it's just such a nice touch, such a personal touch. When you have your closing and your people live in Florida and you're out here and they're not answering the phone, send them a video. It's just, video is powerful, really powerful.
Yeah, something that we've been doing a lot recently is we have something in our company that every month we do something called Meier Talks, which is me interviewing an agent. And my goal is to get the audience to experience the agent and gain value from their advice and just get to know them as a person. But we take a lot of these videos and we try to get them to talk about a topic that will help. So like, you know, in one video, you might be talking about, in our marketplace, we have these things called board packages where you're buying in a building and the building makes you fill out this really detailed application to decide whether they want to allow you in. Okay. Yeah. And so it's a complicated thing. So we'll do this talk about it after an agent had just done one. And then they get to create these videos and they get to use these videos as drips, as educational drips. Or when they're dealing with a client and they're about to do a board package, hey, why don't you check out this video before we talk about it? Because it's detailed and it's high level and it's good to hear things a couple of times. So I find that it's one of the big benefits of using the video is it's so easy to repurpose that video.
Exactly.
Picture.
Yep. Exactly. And I think we think, oh, it's lame to talk about. So what does pre-approval mean, you know? And we think it's so boring because we've been through it, and it's been done a million times. You can Google, you know, what is pre-approval, and there's probably 50 videos up there. But if you have connected with an agent and they send you this as you're at the beginning part of the process, so powerful. Like, it's how you use it. And then you have it on your website as a part of a guide for buyers who are out there exploring. Like, there's so many ways to use any video, which I love the repurposing.
There is no data there's no like information or education that isn't out there. If somebody wants to go Google anything, they're going to find anything on their own.
Exactly.
But nowadays it's more interpretation. And do they want to hear it from some random stranger on the internet, or do they want to hear it from you who they hired and they want to believe that you're leading the way and you are the one that if you were in person and they ask you a question, you wouldn't say, oh, just look it up on YouTube. You'd say, tell you. And
exactly.
The best thing is I'll send you a video on it.
Exactly. My newer agents say,
we actually have a question from one of the viewers regarding BombBomb and like how much of an investment it is to start up.
Oh, that I don't know the answer to that.
Yeah. I would say you should definitely, if you want, comment in the notes below or send either of us a private message and we'll definitely introduce you to BombBomb. They have like monthly subscriptions, yearly subscriptions. You know, it kind of depends on that. I'd say that, you know, in this day and age, there's certain things that a successful agent or agent that wants to be successful needs to have in place. Like, you should have a CRM. You should be able to type a document in a Word or a Google Doc, right? You should have the basic things, and you should have some kind of email distribution platform, like a MailChimp or a Constant Contact, or, in my opinion, a BombBomb, which serves the same purpose but gives you that added leverage of video.
Exactly. And it's really for people who are like, if you don't use BombBomb to its fullest extent, it is not worth the investment. It's for people who are totally 200% sold in that they want to do all of their content with video.
Yeah. I mean, basically the way I think the reason BombBomb is more expensive is because if you do like a MailChimp, it's based on the number of contacts that you have. And I think BombBomb has that too. But I think, you know, there's like almost like a minimum that they're expecting that you'll have of number of people that you're going to have. But if you're really looking to build a business, you should be thinking that you're going to have a large number of contacts and you should be drilling, you know, to get there. Otherwise, you know, it doesn't matter. Use MailChimp or use something else. You can always put video on them and it's all good. It doesn't really matter what platform you use, just like it doesn't matter how good your video is. It's just doing it.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
And having a process. I mean, my new agents come to me and say, you know, oh my, these clients, they want to go look at houses. Like, okay, well, what's your process? Do you sit down with them first and go through it all? Like, how many homes do you show in the first showing? They're just like, what do you mean? Whatever they want. It's like, no, your people want to know that you're in charge, that you are the professional, that you have a process, and you will facilitate them through that. If you just say, whatever you guys want to do, they're going to feel lost because they haven't ever done it before, or they haven't done it in years. So it's, you know, being the expert, positioning yourself as the expert, building your catalog of content to be able to continue to reiterate that. I think video is the way to do it, but just do it.
Yeah, no, that's phenomenal. That's a really good tip of advice. Having a process is really an amazing thing. It's some people try to wing it all the time, and if they had a process in place, they'd be a lot more successful and efficient at it. So yeah.
And it's a way that you can, I've never met a client who isn't like relieved to hear that. You know, they may want to go see the house right away, but if you're like, wait a minute, I have a process and we're going to go through the process, there's some relief.
Awesome. You've given some really, really great tips, some really, really great advice. I thank you for being so transparent with how you guys do it over there and giving us an insight into, you know, how your agents are doing it. And, you know, even in a company like yours, where obviously they know video is important and you do video, and I believe you'll get all into video. It's not easy for anybody. It does take work, but at the end of the day, if you don't want to work hard, this is the wrong profession to be in. This is an extremely hard profession that has the misrepresentation of being an easier profession than it is.
Yes.
It is a damn hard profession, but it's a profession that's rewarding both, you know, from a moral and spiritual perspective as it is from a financial perspective, if you put in the grueling hard work that it's required.
Truer words are never spoken. That is so true. It is damn hard, but it is
Can we like pause, rewind, play, pause, rewind, play?
Exactly.
Give me like the editing loop.
Yeah. Reward hard work. Reward hard work.
Let me ask you, if anybody wants to learn more from you, experience you more, has any questions for you, you know, in your marketplace or any marketplace, how do best people connect with you? How do people find you?
Well, I'll go ahead and put in the comments below like a link to our brokerage page, our YouTube page that kind of showcases some of the video that our agents are doing, and Facebook. Facebook is, I'm a lot on Facebook, but I'm using it. I'm not being lost in it. I'm using it.
You're intentional.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. Which is a big difference. That's a whole nother topic, Michael.
Yes. That is next year's topic.
Yes, exactly.
This year is use it. Next year's don't abuse it.
That's right. That's right.
All right, awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining us on the show. This was a lot of fun. I love your energy. I think it's so cool that you were an agent and now that you're in education and development. Like that's it's a cool thing. There's very few of us that have that both experience. So it's kind of cool to talk to someone like that. Thank you so much for sharing with everybody. And I'm sure there'll be a lot of people that are following you back in all of this. And look forward to being in touch and watching your journey, the journey of your agents, and you pioneering on this front. And congratulations once again on the influencer list on BombBomb.
Thank you. You too. That was awesome. Thank you so much, Michael. This is awesome.
Totally welcome. Totally welcome. We'll do it again. Everybody, thank you so much for watching the Michael Meier Show. I hope you found this valuable. I found it valuable. I enjoyed it. I hope you did too. If you know of anybody else that you think might be able to learn from this video, that might inspire them to do video, that might inspire them to be an all-around good person and provide value to others, please share this. Please like this. And regardless, I know you're busy. We're all busy. So I want to say thank you for taking your time and spending it with us here tonight or anytime as you watch us on the replay in the future. Thanks for joining us, and everybody take care. Have a good night. Bye.